Not yet.
All right.
Oh, it's like flipped. That's interesting.
Hello and welcome to Inspire Synergy. We're actually doing this live together. It's amazing. All of us together at once. So beautiful. So
Yes.
beautiful. I would like to thank our sponsors at Procyon Partners. Procyon Partners, one of the top 50 fastest growing companies in the nation. They specialize in wealth management, retirement planning, and employee benefits. President Sean Rabinowitz, proud supporter of our podcast network and everything we do. Green Street Trust International, owned and operated by Renell Jump. They specialize in tax planning for businesses large or small. They will save you money or give you a big fat return on your taxes. To schedule your free strategic tax planning session today, go to www.greenstreettrust.com. Pete Finch and the Finch Law Firm is out of Bridgeport, Connecticut. You've suffered any type of personal injury, slip and fall, a car accident. Your mother-in-law ran you over with her car. Your wife got mad and decided to stab you. The Finch firm is for you. Pete has won legal battles all over the state of Connecticut. He's not afraid of insurance companies. He will get you every dollar you deserve in compensation. So remember, if you're ever in a pinch, call Finch. And you can check out his website. It's thefinchfirm.com. Dynamic Human Performance, owned and operated by UConn legendary running back Andre Dixon. Trains boys and girls of all ages, of all sports. He has a new boot camp program 7 days a week at 6 a.m. You want to get in shape, go to Andre. He has an athletic development program where he takes boys and girls. They pick a sport of their choice. He trains them from the ground up to help them reach their potential. Andre has sent kids, boys and girls, to college on scholarship to all different types of sports. So if you want to work with the best, Andre has a 5,000 square foot facility in Hartford. Go to www.dynamichumanperformance.com. Down south, we have Julius Williams in the Trench Mob. He trains offensive and defensive linemen. Julius is out of Decatur, Georgia. They compete in 5 versus 5 tournaments all across the country. They just did a college camp circuit where we're proud to announce every camp they attended, a member of the Trench Mob was offered a scholarship. Julius has sent kids to schools like Florida, Florida State, Miami, Tennessee, Clemson, Georgia, Alabama, to name a few. Julius also has a virtual program. He can work with you wherever you are, and you are invited to attend any camp that the Trench Mob goes to, any tournament the Trench Mob goes to as a member. When you wear Trench Mob across your jersey, it means something, and it will help you in recruiting. So if you're a lineman and you want to work with the best, go to battleofthetrenches.com and contact Julius and his team. Luther James Insurance is our newest sponsor, owned and operated by James Whitfield out of Bergen County, New Jersey. Financial services is not just a career for James, it's a passion. And he's dedicated himself to the art and learning it for the over 3 years now. He also provides financial stability to law enforcement officers. He provides several different insurance policies. He specializes in life insurance and retirement planning. He knows the stress of retirement and fear of the unknown is real. You can go to his website. It's lutherjamesinsurance.com and get a free quote from him and talk with him about your financial future and wealth management. And here we are for a live Inspire Synergy with Razul Wallace, 2 days in a row, two different states. I'm currently in Connecticut. It's great to see you again. Not
You
really,
too.
but yeah. And we have Jah. Jah, it's always great to see you.
Thank you for coming in today. I'm really excited to have you, Kelly.
Yeah, I know.
Don't act like you're not excited to see me, Kelly. I felt your chubby when I hugged you.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Just make sure I got this right. Oh, that's why I plugged it in wrong. Okay, sorry. That is one. That's two. That's three. Okay. Can everybody hear?
Yeah.
I can hear.
Okay. Good. Good. Make sure your mic volumes are turned up.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. And we have 5 people watching now. I get to see the ticker.
Well, that's only the one platform. So
Yeah.
okay.
The StreamYard?
Yeah, it's just for that. All right, you're good with your headphones. It's not too loud.
Oh, that's good.
Okay. All right. All right. So we had a great session the other day talking about the House of Changes, and there's so much going on. And we also talked about real estate and some of the goals for the future. I know there were some beds open at the House of Changes. Has anyone inquired about filling them? Has that been possible?
Oh, we get a lot of inquiries.
Lean into the microphone.
We get a lot of inquiries. I get calls daily about it. But they're, guys are in a wide range of positions and,
Right.
and capabilities. One of the things that we're looking to get as soon as possible is to be able to accept basic needs, where I think if you're on Medicare or Medicare,
Right.
they'll get like the first 2 or 3 months of rent covered.
Yes.
We're on a waiting list, I guess. There's it's kind of like lottery or
To get that.
to be able to receive it. So we end up turning a lot of guys from that because we are not able to receive it yet. So right now it's primarily self-pay.
Oh, okay. For rent and everything.
Yeah.
And everything else. Okay.
Mhm.
Is there a set rent amount that you have to get, or do you work with them depending on the income that they bring?
This is a set amount.
Couple $100
The
bucks.
security deposit's $1,000. That covers the first month. And
Right.
then $200 a week or
Yeah.
$800 a month.
Yeah. Which is great for Connecticut.
Yeah, and we from the last fundraiser, we have some guys that are really putting forward their best effort. So we did sponsor to some degree.
That's great.
That have having challenges, but we had one guy who he just he wasn't even trying to really do
Yeah, well, he wasn't compliant.
right. So we he had to go. So
Yeah. And I mean, how is that process like? I mean, because I know you want guys out of the house and being active,
yeah,
whether it's looking for a job or whatnot. You don't want them sitting in the house all day lying in bed.
correct.
So you obviously talk with them if they're not doing the right thing. And do you give them warnings? Do you tell them,
Man.
what needs to be done? I mean, there's expectations and there's always consequences for your actions.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So this particular individual, I feel like it was week after week, just talking to him.
It really was.
Yeah, constant. And
he just wasn't.
He felt like we were riding him, and we just wanted to be on him.
He took it personal.
Yeah, and we were lenient on a lot of the rules. We had very low. We kind of lowered the standards, but even then, it was still just.
It just wasn't working.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Jah, I know that you had been doing, was it a Bible study or a book club?
A book club for the men in the house.
Yeah. Yeah. How is that going?
So we did 2 so far. Both were very successful. and I'm gonna reach out to Marcus to try to get one in the early part of August.
Is it like once a week, once every 2 weeks?
The plan was for once a month.
Okay.
That was the plan.
Yeah.
The summer is always busy with family and travel.
Yeah. And you guys have other jobs too.
Yeah, other projects.
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We had to open a bank account today, and we've been trying to open it for like 3 weeks because we knew it was going to be an hour commitment just to open a new business account.
Right.
So we set, and it wasn't even enough time. We had to leave and come back, and I have to go back tomorrow to pick up the last disclosures. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's like first world problems.
Now, is the book club or whatever, is that something that Marcus would be able to do, or because he has so much on his plate, that's not something he'd have time for?
I think the goal, Marcus is wonderful. Like when you're talking about when we have to let someone go in the house and visit for Razul and I, it's an easy process because Marcus is just.
Well, I'm sure because he's closer to the guys.
He's communicating well. He's communicating effectively. He's talking to them. He's talking to Razul. He's talking to me. We're trying to find
you
options.
Updated, right?
He brings us in early, and so he makes it wonderful. And we're looking at scaling, obviously, and the biggest thing is management. And he set the bar so high. So we're just see if we can repeat that again.
Yeah. Well, we'll probably have him oversee people that we're bringing in as we grow.
That's what I was going to say. Is there anyone in the house that would be trusted enough that would take charge and do a book club, do a Bible study, something like that?
We've started having that conversation. I know there was,
because it's tough for you guys to do it.
But it's also important that we design stuff where we're present.
Yeah, absolutely. So it shows a lot. Yes,
I think it's important to continue to get connections and get a variety of different personalities.
Absolutely.
So
and your visibility there is huge.
It says a lot and how much we care.
Yeah.
And like we brought our friend Alexandra in for the first book club, and her being there, like I asked a few of the men a couple questions. They were very reserved. Alexandra asked it. They opened right up. And then she was making fun of me. And then ever since, when I go visit, those two men are very open with me and like friendly. And
well, I can see that because it's tougher when you're talking to the boss. So you may be a little reluctant to open up as opposed to having a guest like that do it.
Yeah.
So that was a great idea to bring her in.
Yeah. When you going back to New
York? Saturday. Why? What do you want?
No, I was thinking maybe stop by the house.
I would. I mean, I don't have a lot tomorrow. If you guys are going there, let me know. How far am I from there?
Maybe. Stratford is a hike, though.
I'm not doing. I mean, that's not
probably a good
hour
and a half.
Oh, all right, that's not bad. Okay.
It's like Stratford's closest to New York. Norwich is closest to Rhode Island.
Got you.
But at least 95 makes it.
Yeah.
Are you guys planning to be at the house tomorrow?
I wasn't, no.
Okay, but I would go by.
I try to make Fridays a lighter day so I can get admin.
Yeah, that's you got to do the paperwork.
Yeah.
That's on my schedule tomorrow.
Like your friend.
That's what. That's exactly what James said.
Yeah.
James said he tries to do a 4-day week.
Yeah.
So he gets everything done. I was trying to understand his business.
James?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jameson?
Did you get a chance to speak with him at all? Did he call you?
I didn't talk to James.
Okay.
He was on the podcast yesterday.
All right. I gave him.
Okay.
He does life insurance.
I gave him your number to call you because he said that he could help anyone that's working in real estate with different things. So
I've actually been working with Fish through Row.
Oh, Nick. Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. I have.
So he offers some of the similar services.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he does.
But he does it on his own.
Yeah, but it would be probably good to have a conversation with him also and see what he
Diversifying
recommends,
is always important.
or just comparing.
And some people have more of a niche in certain areas.
Yeah, he seems to have the.
Well, the trust was kind of what blew me away. That everything was tax free.
Building the cash value.
Yeah.
It's huge.
And the whatever the key thing was,
Key man insurance.
that one. Yeah. And he didn't like the umbrella one. He liked the key one.
Yep.
But that was interesting to hear. And one of the biggest feedbacks that we got yesterday from people, that it was so inspiring, was the word used.
I love that.
To see 3 pretty much Black business owners who
Sexy
are
black bald men
building companies and having success, because they don't see a lot of that. And then especially, is Nedvon bald? Yeah, Nedvon's bald too.
Yeah.
James bald? Yeah, James bald too.
It might be a sports thing, maybe.
Yeah, James was
Maybe.
saying his head was
Michael
shiny.
Jordan's bald.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what people were saying, that
He's the greatest.
there weren't, and I even looked, I tried looking it up, and there aren't a lot of Black business podcasts. So I think that's what was so.
Yeah.
A lot. That was a lot of the feedback, and that's when I talked with Fresh afterwards, I mentioned that to him, and the radio station that I work for in Worcester does a show called Black in Business, trying to promote Black businesses in Worcester, but he has the same struggle with trying to get them on. So people were inspired to basically hear you share your knowledge of what you're doing, what your plans are.
Did you just say something nice about Razul?
I did. Well, it was more of the group, but yeah. But no, I mean, everyone was really impressed, and people wanted to know more about real estate, because you, Laban, James even, and Nedvon said that real estate, especially you mentioned commercial real estate, is a solid investment as far as growth,
especially with the shrinking of the middle class.
Yeah,
it allows you to compete in this changing market.
Right.
Really create some type of financial safety as best you can.
Right. And Razul, people, I didn't get to ask the question, but the 2 questions people had asked for you. One was about the Husky Investment Group working with the 8-10 guys. I know you mentioned that different people have different jobs, but people had asked, like, if you bring a property to the table, commercial, residential, how is it decided upon to purchase it or not? Like, is there a vote? Do some people have more of a stake, more of a say than others? That was a question that we got a few times.
So the team is anonymous now.
Yeah.
And there's 4 managing members, and the 4 managing members kind of like drive the bus as far as decision making.
Oh, okay.
We'll usually let the team know what we're thinking, get feedback from the team, but then ultimately
you guys make the 4 make the decision.
And then how do you communicate wins? How do you communicate the numbers? Because that's where the trust comes into play.
Yeah. I think we basically just put out a pro forma, which is basically like the cost of the acquisition, any money that might be needed, and then the income and expenses, and then from there, what everybody's expected to kind of get or benefit. So we'll let them
contribute. Okay.
We'll let them know that.
And you also update them on your current portfolio and how that's performing.
Well, no, so the group is active in like the management.
Okay.
They are.
Yes.
Okay.
So they actually, Freddie and Nut have done a good job of incorporating the group more into the day-to-day operations of it. So the responsibilities are spread out a lot more than they were in the beginning.
And then we had several questions about if you're looking in different states for property, because I know primarily Connecticut you focus
in
on?
New York.
So Blags is a member. He just sent
Okay.
us an opportunity that's in Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow.
And we looked it over, and I think there's still some consideration for it. But again, the big challenge is always like the management.
Where's the location?
Pittsburgh.
Okay. You
Pittsburgh.
should talk to Latham.
That's actually not a
Latham has
bad
got
idea.
the property.
That's not a bad idea.
I mean, he does property management.
That's a really good point.
That'd be
That's a
something
good
he
idea.
would
Because he
do.
can be the property manager on it.
Right.
He would do that. That's not too far from him.
And to get feedback on like the area and everything like that.
And
Yeah.
risk.
I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
But during the conversation that we had, just like I was saying last week, Connecticut is a very favorable market.
It is right now for sure.
Hartford is
Yes.
I think maybe top in the country.
It's number one in a few different categories.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially when we're looking at there's been a shift in the real estate market.
Yes.
Some
Latham mentioned that.
some markets are really starting to
They're becoming sellers markets.
finally
Yes, definitely.
It's shifting.
shifting.
Yeah,
Back.
So it's a
So
little
it's
more
getting
balanced.
closer to normalizing.
Right.
But it took a long time because this COVID since 2020.
Yes.
So those really hot markets, not all, some of them are really trending back to the norm, which is interesting and expected to happen now based on the trend over the last 18 months. So it's very interesting. So I have talked to some of the experts to see what's contributing to it specifically, and like, is it a blended change, or what? Because it seemed like a quick shift. I didn't see this kind of, you're not like some trends just it's going like this and then it either spikes up like COVID. This one seemed like a major shift in certain in particular markets, and I didn't see that coming. I didn't see a spike. I thought it would be like a slow drip, to normalize.
Yeah, it was very like market specific, right? Like the range is anywhere from approximately 4% drop to a 4% increase in prices across the country. So it's it is interesting. The markets that I think are continuing to increase are markets that still have some level of affordability.
Right.
So affordability is a driver right now, but I think that's going to continue to be an issue because the demand is there.
Not enough inventory.
That's what Laban always said. Not enough inventory.
Yeah, it's the next
it's going to be interesting.
6 months.
6 months and
3 years.
Even trying to look into the next 4 years. Really interesting because
there's a lot of
how long you usually hold on to the asset typically. On
Yes.
So you can kind of predict what type of return you're going to get in what market. So Hartford is an excellent market to look into.
And we have resources here.
Yes.
Like a network.
Yes.
So it when you consider the fact that
a lot of the
it
guys
has the highest appreciation.
Right.
Some of the highest appreciation in the country, that you already are kind of like set up to.
It's a lot easier for you to purchase a property in Connecticut than it would be in Wisconsin.
Correct. Exactly.
And you're between two hot markets, between Boston, New York, and then specifically like the Rhode Island market.
Well, the thing that I think makes it so attractive and why Connecticut is such a hot market is because Boston and New York are so high.
Lean into your microphone.
Boston and New York are so high.
Yeah.
That we're getting a spillover because we're still more affordable. So a lot of people have been coming into Connecticut, and that is kind of driving why it's still one of the most, because nationwide it's still probably more expensive than other regions in the country.
Yes.
But in comparison to the surrounding states, it's just still getting a discount, and it's a lot more affordable. Also with the cost of living compared to the incomes, like there's not a big drop off in incomes with our neighboring states, but the cost of living is so you can have a higher quality of life.
And that's what makes Norwich also really attractive, because it's actually cheaper.
Cheapest in the state.
And you're still close to the two casinos. You're right off of I-95. There's a few beach towns. It's not too far. So there's some gems if you know where to look.
Is Norwich by New London?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I
And
agree.
it's in
Hagen
London
is
County.
right there.
Yeah, so it's a perfect location for
Yeah.
anything you want to
And
do.
the electric
Yeah.
boat is right there. So there's some for key indicators for performance. There's a lot of wins, and they've done a lot of investment in the infrastructure to really
A lot of hiring.
It's really set up Norwich long term. The administration there seems very strong.
So Razul, the other thing people ask, like, what is the hierarchy here with, you, Ja, Letitia, Scott? How does it kind of work? Are you guys all kind of independent, or do you guys kind of work together on projects?
There's a lot
It's
of
interesting that you
different
brought this up.
things.
I didn't bring it up. I mean,
No,
it was
it's-
questions from yesterday.
People can bring it up anytime.
Because
So-
they're just curious how you operate. Because you work with the Husky Investment Group,
Mhm.
but you also have your own entity here
Yeah.
with Ja and the people you work with Scott. So people were asking how that worked, how you managed it.
So
So-
Razul, Letitia, and I,
Yeah,
our goal is to get everything we kind of work on professionally
yeah,
together. We feel like the synergetic aspect of it, and if we can get everything aligned and rowing in the same direction. We're not
Yes.
there yet, but we're excited. We might be bringing on a new admin person to help with a lot of the back office.
yes. Razul mentioned
Yeah,
that.
in
That'd be
reference to Lewis Real Estate, we plan on doing stuff with Scott in the future. So we behave more like family than anything else.
great. Right.
So he owns two big commercial property where our office is here in West Hartford,
Correct.
and
I'm an agent in his real estate brokerage.
Yeah.
Also.
Right.
yeah,
And then Razul, you mentioned, some people asked about it, that you also, because we were talking about property management, and that you really handle it right now. And they were asking, like, are you the one that goes and collects the rent, talks to the tenant if they need something done, they
Mhm.
go through you?
So right now, yes.
Oh,
And
okay. So that's a
that's
lot.
what the
the
admin
admin person that he's
Right.
talking about coming on is now, and then T owns properties. We have other properties that we'll potentially be managing
Right.
between the three of us.
Right.
So we're thinking to, Barb essentially is going to come in and help with the administrative aspect of the property management. Because if we can centralize everything, then that will free us up. to
That'll
continue
take so
to-
much off your plate.
Yeah,
If you weren't doing that.
right.
and focus on like the things that's going to drive the most production.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, even let me see, when's the last time I did it? I've done everything.
No, I know you have. That's why people were asking about it, because you wear so many hats.
That's why I call them cheap.
I was like, I think it was like that. In 2024, this has actually happened to me twice, where the whole sewage system for the house backed up into the basement, in two different properties. People flushing different things, and both times, like, because nobody wants to clean up sewage, so the quotes that I got to clean it was like $1,500.
Laban told me a similar story.
Did he?
That's crazy.
So I got
Oh my God.
I got one of those suits.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
put the things over the boots.
Yeah.
Because I figured, I don't think I got it. But I figured for
You
$1,500,
got poop in your face.
it took,
Yeah,
I don't think I did.
It's $1,500.
$1,500.
I'll clean shit.
right? Because in both cases, it didn't take more than 4 hours to clean.
Yeah.
So I figured I could pay myself $300 an hour,
Yeah.
$350 an hour
Not an
to,
expense that you need.
you know what I'm saying? So it was just
It was
more
worth it
valuable
based
for
on
me to
that.
do it. And I didn't. But I'd say after the first time, the second time, you just kind of just submit to it and you just do it.
Surrender.
Yeah.
And then
But we're building out our property management.
that's what people had said.
Yeah.
Because you guys, I mean, you have enough knowledge, and you really could do it in-house, couldn't
You
you?
want to do it in-house because it allows us
Yes.
to scale, and then we
And
can
there's a lot of-
monetize it.
And there's a lot
Yes,
of benefits. to
because
doing it
you can
in-house.
monetize it by managing other properties for other people. That's
Yeah.
what Laban said.
Talking with Laban actually
Yeah,
pushed me more to it because Ja really
I've
wants to do
been,
it. He
I've
really
been
wants to.
relentless on that.
yeah. Well, Laban says that they've done really well because you know, other people don't want to manage the properties, and
Yeah.
they come to them and they do it.
And it
Plus, you get
drives.
to learn the cost, like how expensive.
Right.
Like,
What they're paying, right?
Then you know, like this particular thing, we're outsourcing.
Yes.
You know, it's worth it because it's not worth the time and investment. But if you don't learn it, then you don't know the real value of it. So I think the knowledge, if you're thinking about scaling as much as possible,
Right.
I think learning and getting that education is pivotal.
And Razul, people had asked, because they didn't know this, you weren't in real estate before. You had another job before real estate.
Oh
correct?
yeah. So let me see. I was working with Bank of America, I think, from
Okay.
2013 to 2022.
Okay.
But you know, when you're like going to a bank to get financing,
Yes.
it works in your favor when you have steady job income.
Sure.
So that helps with a couple of the transactions, but a lot of it is just really understanding how to put deals together also.
Right. Were you doing like mortgages?
With bank, I know when I left, I was a financial center manager.
Oh, okay.
And I, you know, working for the bank was cool. It's a good place to work. And but towards the end, they got really strict on like having your phone out when you're on the floor, you know,
Right.
dealing with customers.
Yeah.
And I was getting like anxious because, you know, and I can't tell people not to have their phone out. I have my phone out, but I got like short-term rentals and long.
There's a lot you got going on. You have
trying to manage it and not. And I was at a place where I was thinking about leaving to focus on investing full time anyway. So that's when I ended up, you know, walking away from the bank in 2022.
Jah, the other thing people had asked for like you and Razul, how long did it take for you to learn, understand the real estate business, and then get involved in it? Because people were saying like, is it something that takes 5 years? Like,
So Scott Valen told me that I'm working in real estate with him. I'm a sales specialist is my background, and actually used to manage a mortgage company.
Oh, okay.
So it was Scott roughly 4 years ago that Valen told me to help him with managing leads, understanding real estate, and then as he got more and more commercial real estate, Valen told me that I need to learn the property management. And both Razul and I and Letitia were all looking into commercial real estate investment.
So you all came in basically
we were all going
together.
in that direction.
Yeah.
We all were getting our own individual experience,
right?
Independently. And Razul was attracted to Lewis Real Estate specifically because he wanted to move into that commercial world. And,
yes.
And we had just entered it, and we were marketing it and building out a commercial division. And I was part of the leadership team that helped support that that growth.
And how long would you say it took before you were comfortable, where you had the knowledge?
I was pretty comfortable out the gate because
you
my
had
job
experience.
My job was more managing.
Oh,
right, like staying within my skill set.
Right.
And then on the real estate aspect, I would lean on Scott.
Right.
And when Razul came in, I'll lean on Razul. And then we had other big agents that are incredible between Amber, Joey, Nick. So if you want to be your best self, the goal is to stay in your lane and allow the experts to be experts.
And that's exactly what you guys said yesterday, is hire people smarter than you.
Yeah.
Get the experts to do that stuff.
Yeah. Don't try to do something that you're not good at.
For me, I think the easiest way is once you own like, and it's the easiest way to get into from financial standpoint, right? Like owner occupied is the lowest down payment,
right?
You know, 3.5% down. A lot of the times you can structure it so that the seller pays the closing costs.
Yes. Yeah.
So you'll have the least cost to get in, and especially if it's a multi you're living in, you can often live for free there.
Yeah.
So your risk is the lowest.
Yeah. You mentioned that.
Right.
Using your own home. Yeah.
Right. And you can learn how to like manage it, because you know you only have, like in the case of the 3-family that had, you have 2 other tenants.
Yeah.
You know, and what are the issues? You know, I have a leak, something broke. You know, the roof and the HVAC are the biggest expenses likely. But if you know the roof is decent and the HVAC has some life in it, it's really going to be a matter of, you know, my sink is leaking, or, you know, those are
Right.
the biggest things. Outside of that, it's usually going to be something that they caused or did,
Yeah.
you know. So,
And if you're humble enough, like you're talking to people that's going to tell you how to prevent bigger issues, so you're not ignoring it.
right.
And people ask about bad tenants, your experience with bad tenants, because,
We have one right now.
well, I mean,
Oh,
there,
yeah, yeah,
there were,
yeah.
there, someone from Michigan,
Yeah.
and then there was someone in Nevada. I guess they have different eviction rules.
Yeah.
So they were struggling with a
Mm.
bad tenant,
Yeah.
and it was a war to get them out.
So the goal is not to make it a war, but you want to start the process immediately.
Yeah.
And don't wait.
Don't
Just
wait.
Do not
don't
not wait. Like,
Okay.
just start the process immediately.
I will say though that for me, when a tenant is very like proactive in communicating, like
if they're honest,
engaged and they're honest,
yeah,
I will cut them
you'll
some
give
slack.
them some.
But you
yeah.
can only cut but so much slack, right? Like
No.
I wouldn't really, I generally wouldn't allow someone to go into like the next month owing significantly for the previous month.
Right. Right.
Because if they can't pay 1 month, you know, once it's stacked up to two, it's you know, unless there was like some very exigent circumstance or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
It's cancer or something.
Well, that's what Laven told me a couple
Tough.
funny stories, that there were people, two people in his rental properties, both couldn't pay rent because somebody died. So
Yeah.
they thought they were communicating with each other, like, oh, I can't pay rent this week because my uncle died or whatever. And then he had a nightmare scenario where they wanted to sell one of their houses that was being rented, but the lady there said she wanted to buy it. So they gave her like a year, and she kept giving excuses as to, you know, I'm getting financing, I'm just waiting to hear back. And then after the year, we finally just had to evict her.
Yeah.
And it was 5 days, and it was a nightmare. But is it different in each state?
Oh,
Yeah.
very different.
Okay.
And
That's why.
And there's some different rules depending on the city or the town too.
Okay.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
my family has stuff in New York within the city of
New York's awful.
I would not acquire anything in New York
No.
because of the landlord tenant.
My father doesn't take evictions because it drives him up a wall.
Yeah.
Because New York they'll keep giving him extension after extension.
Your
after
father's an attorney?
Yeah.
You met his dad.
Yeah.
But I don't know if the audience knows.
Oh,
Yeah, they know. I talk about him all the time. He hates it.
his dad's great. His
I love
dad.
his dad.
Yeah, but he said
Tell him I said hi.
I will.
He doesn't like the attention.
No. But he said that. He said, I can't take evictions in New York because they just constantly give extensions.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing with a bad tenant, get started early.
Get started
and
early.
move them on out.
Yeah.
And I think Razul has the perfect balance. And we tend to, I think that's one of his really good gifts. Cause
Yes. He's got
He
that
cares.
empathy. Yes.
he cares, but
He knows it's business.
the financial side is important, and it has to be fair for everyone involved. And when it's time to cut, he doesn't hesitate to cut.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, it's your business.
So I think he's out of everyone I've worked with on that realm, I feel like he has the best balance with it. So we tend to kind of put Razul in that position.
Yeah, that's his special.
As a team.
Wait, what time did it pan out so well?
Well, you really wasn't supposed to be there.
Well,
you were trying to, in that case, you didn't have the relationship up front and you didn't have all the story. So only Letitia and I were dealing. So you didn't know what not, and you just didn't have enough information.
When you came
so we
barely.
should
No.
No. No, Laban told a story, and then he got yelled at the supermarket. He did.
Imagine if you got jumped at the supermarket.
Well, this person threatened to shoot us.
That doesn't surprise me after the stories Laban
Yeah.
told me. Laban told me that some person went 3 months without paying rent. He showed up, he took his daughter, and he showed up at the place she worked. She worked at a Verizon. And he was talking to her about her not paying her rent. And she's starting to get nervous. And she's like, can we go outside and talk about this?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm making you uncomfortable. It's making you uncomfortable. Oh, how do you, this is my daughter right here. You're not paying rent, so she's not going to have a college fund. That's what he said. Like, that's great. But no, he told me this.
I don't recommend that.
He shared a horror story, and then he saw the lady at the supermarket who saw the show.
Oh, really?
And it's not
That's
being
funny.
sensitive, the fact that you're in a professional environment.
Yes,
You
yes,
know,
of course.
Yeah.
But you also have guests that are like trying to
No, they're trying to learn.
and
That's
know the
people-
wide range of like how crazy it can
It
get.
can get crazy, but we don't want to discourage you.
But-
No, it's out.
But you're right about starting early, which
Yeah.
I think.
Start early, and then a lot of times, what you put out is typically what you receive.
Yes.
And
Yes, but there are predators out there
There are.
that know the law
Oh,
and will
they'll
try to take advantage
all
of
the
it
time.
at your
I've seen
expense.
that. One of my favorite shows on Netflix is Worst Roommate Ever.
yeah,
If you ever watch that, it's great.
Yeah.
Because they'll move in and they're just serial squatters.
Oh, man.
We probably shouldn't look.
You
Oh,
should.
it's
We
great.
should look.
The
to
best-
get to understand.
Best show I've ever watched. Best show I've ever watched. So I'll ask you 2 final questions. Jah, you were on a podcast the other day, and it was really good. And you were talking about the importance of fathering and mentoring.
Yeah.
What was that show, and what was the message that you were trying to get across?
So the show
'Cause-
is Locked Up and Locked Out.
Yes.
And Adam, he was falsely in prison for
Oh,
a crime
wow.
he didn't commit.
Right. Okay.
And being inside, you see a lot of flaws and the lack of treating certain individuals as human beings.
Oh, it's a nightmare.
Especially for him, a lot of his passion is around when you're trying to grow and you're trying to do the right thing, whatever percentage of the population within the prison, to be able to get them into a healthier environment so they can thrive, especially if they're trying to learn. And also
rehab,
Yeah.
reform.
and
yeah.
then when
It's
you
lost.
also when you get out, there's so much support that's needed that's not.
They give you nothing. They just give you a bus ticket.
So and then the percentage of people who end up going back in,
Yeah.
it's scary when you look at the actual real numbers and the raw numbers and how big that mountain is more than a hill in order to really be able to transition back and be able to thrive.
It is. Yeah.
So he really likes the stuff that Razul, I, and Letitia have been doing, and he sees how we can collaborate to be able to help solve some problems for that population specifically. The other thing we're talking about is how is it possible that someone who's innocent ends up in jail to begin with?
Well, that's
So
financing and
So-
getting a public
Oh, man.
defender.
yeah, so
Uh,
we
Mm.
trying to talk through how can we help,
Support that.
and then to me the best way to approach in these type of environments is, because it seems impossible, is let's try to save one child at a time. A 17-year-old that might end up going to prison for 10, 20, 30 years and
That's huge.
wrongfully convicted.
And that's easy, like way easier than you would imagine.
No, I get it. It happens way too often.
No, it does.
And especially with Razul and I growing up, me in the Bronx and Razul with Brooklyn.
Right.
And then also in the prison, I think the right mindset to start with one person at a time. and then you can kind of scale it from there because you have a proven model. Very similar to what we are doing with House of Changes,
Right.
where we start with 8 men. So, you can start small, perfect it, and then try to build out the infrastructure to scale it from there. And then hopefully you get the right support and the right partners in order to scale it. So, that was really why he brought me on,
Right.
is in reference to that. But because of my passion on the fatherhood initiative,
How
and
important
it aligns so perfectly, because if you have mass incarceration, and it seems to be anyone in poverty, that percentage is significant compared to someone not in poverty.
Much
Poverty.
more, yes.
So you have a lot of households with no fathers present,
They're gone. Yeah.
and there's a lot of implications that come along with it. And imagine if
That's
you're
true.
3-4 generations of this.
Where they're not there.
Yeah,
Right.
so that's
Wow.
where and then when we're talking about mentoring, especially, you went to jail when you're 17, you get out and you're 40, right? You still think like a 17-year-old.
You haven't developed.
Because you perfected the prison lifestyle because you're in prison.
Correct.
Right, because you're in the prison environment. You're not out
prepared
here. So something as simple as getting your social security card, you need support and help for that.
License.
Getting your driver's
ID
license,
Absolutely.
trying to get feasible transportation. It's the ability to get a job is next level.
Yeah. No, I mean,
It's easier to start their own business.
it's social workers and case managers that have to take that step and help them, because nobody else will.
Well, hopefully we can build systems where
Right.
we're supporting each other. And
Right.
and
But
it
even
takes a village.
even the individuals that are in that, they're exhausted. There's not enough.
They are.
There's not enough support.
Well, they feel defeated.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's exhausting. And then you're trying
It's
to
overwhelming.
and then you're trying to support people who sometimes it feels like you're more invested in their
trying to help them.
than they are.
And it seems like it, but you gotta remind yourself where they came from. And we spoke
True.
about this in reference to addiction, and it's just really trying to be as compassionate and walk in their shoes as much as possible, and bringing in people that have walked in those shoes,
Right.
and maybe even walk in deeper shoes, so you have that hope. And I think if you can figure out how to restore hope, that's huge in reference to molding the right mindset, so you can be the best person that you want to be, the way, be your best self.
It is. It's hope and having a purpose.
Because you gave me,
To get those.
I mean, I don't know, it was significant, some perspective you gave me like a number of months back.
I don't get perspective.
Yes,
No, you did. It was that we have a bigger vision for them than they have for themselves, and what they believe that they can even accomplish for themselves.
Because you think you're worthless.
Yeah.
And it's overwhelming to try to think far ahead. But when you have someone who supports you like that, that's definitely a step in the right direction. But when they're just coming out from their worst, it's tough for them to think ahead like that.
Yeah.
They don't have that perspective. They don't have that mindset.
And when you go in the prison, shame happens every step.
Absolutely.
Every step there's shame. Every step you're losing your freedom.
Yes.
You're losing this. You're losing that. You could be on the right track and a riot ends up happening in the prison.
There's nothing you can do.
The nutrition is not tip top.
Awful.
So there's a lot of consequences from that. You're both athletes. You know the benefits of ideal nutrition for you to think straight and perform when you need to perform.
And your healthcare too.
Yeah. So there's a lot of layers to it.
But that's good that's something that you want to be involved with and try to help change.
If to me, if you care about fathering and you care about trying to build families, if you ignore mass incarceration, I think you're missing a big piece.
It's like almost like willful ignorance.
Yeah, it's hard. And then the thing is, you can't fix it on your own. But that's when I came up with the word inspire synergy.
Exactly.
Because what we can do collectively.
You're right.
And you don't want to work in
Together.
silos. We talk about this all the time. The Black community works in silos a lot. way too often than we would want to admit.
And
And if we can figure out how to come together and bridge those gaps and work through, and instead of working in silos, figuring out how to work collectively, you're much stronger, especially when you talk about economics. And that plays a big role in politics and policy and all that. So really thinking long term for the world that our children's going to inherit.
Also, sometimes, like if you look at it historically, it almost seems like the government wants someone to, I don't know who's the right person to say, but there seems to be historically always a group that is targeted as a scapegoat or someone to blame for the problem.
sure.
Like they had, the Black Panther Party and different groups in
Yep.
the past that we're trying to empower the community.
Yeah.
They're feeding the hungry, doing things to help and support. And then they were
They got
framed
a
as
negative connotation.
Demonized.
demonized
Demonized.
and incarcerated because of that. And now you see it more happening with immigrants.
Yes.
When immigrant populations have shown, like, without unequivocally to contribute to the economic growth of America way more than they take or get from it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
The work ethic. Yeah.
We're all immigrants.
We all are.
that too.
That's what America
Was
has
built
been.
on.
Yeah, so it's a melting pot, and it was celebrated in the past. And I'm not sure where the fear is coming from. Where you don't want.
It's intentional. The fear is intentional.
I'm not sure. So
It's in different
And
places. Yes.
and I'd rather think about solutions
Correct.
than
Well, I agree with you. Like the one thing that struck me was the sending people or criminals or whatever to third world to third party
Not
countries.
just criminals, American citizens.
American
That
citizens.
I didn't get.
It's
Well,
crazy.
because there's not a clear system
Right.
in place.
But that's intentional. Also.
We're gonna send them to Sudan. Like when I read that,
I try not to jump to conclusions.
Yeah,
about
no,
intentionality until we have enough information or
Right.
at least enough data to say, based on these trends, you can't ignore that this is not unintentional. And
Right.
based on your education and your expertise, how is this ignored?
Yeah,
There's
but
not enough data yet.
But if you look at history can tell you a lot, and different
I
methods
agree.
that are used and why they're used.
Yeah, we're talking
Right.
about segregation and we're talking about things from back then, but for things that's happening right now with ISIS, it's hard for me personally to say that it's hard for me to say that something's intentional or not without enough facts to support it.
But if you look at history, but if you do have the history, right? Historically, control is people give up more controls and freedoms when there's a higher level of fear, right? That's always been a tool for people to give up privacy, just hand it over because there's a higher degree of fear and say, we need to do this so that we can protect you.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a reason, it's a tool and there's a reason that it happens, looking at it historically. So when you're saying that, this group is violent rapists and things like that, when as a percentage of the population, they're actually like probably a lower percentage.
Yeah.
Right. It's just false information because you're trying to get a certain result.
Yeah, false narrative.
Yeah.
I
see your perspective on that.
Yeah.
But we can agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Razul, the last question, you mentioned wanting to start or acquire a business in the next year or two.
Mm.
Do you have in mind what you would like to start or operate? What are you looking?
The business.
You talking about acquisitions?
Keep biting my tongue. Yeah.
Talking about acquisitions.
Yeah.
The businesses we're focusing on are real estate adjacent.
Oh,
so
okay,
like
good.
Everything from concrete and foundation to framing, construction.
Like construction, okay.
Roofing, siding,
everything people need.
Property management.
That's huge.
Yeah. And I think it's a tremendous opportunity also because we need to build out those professions also because the trades are like falling behind.
And it's a win-win in reference to like our passion. Imagine if we own landscaping company and a concrete company, we could actually, within our framework, we could actually create a career for a man that just got out of prison.
Very much so, yeah.
So when we talk about workforce development, we can be very intentional about building that out. We care about young kids in schools, and trades is something that we're very passionate about. We could actually have a streamline,
Yeah,
so with those resources, there's things you can leverage and partner with the right partners in order to maximize it. So
I think that's a great idea
yeah,
because it's something that's so needed. I mean, any construction,
Yeah.
HVAC, landscaping, plumber.
Yep.
I mean, 6 weeks before you get one.
And as an investor,
So
it's a slam dunk because
yeah, for sure.
The baby boomer population, there's so much opportunity there.
Yes.
And a lot of these business owners, they don't have a succession plan or
No,
exit
they don't.
strategy.
And their kids don't want to do it.
And
Silver tsunami.
well, and we can't, as a society, we can't afford to be losing all these companies and these businesses.
Correct.
We can't sustain that. So not only can you get great return on the investment, but you can do something with it and take it to another level by bringing in a lot of the values that we believe in and why the House of Changes was created to begin with.
Wow. Well, that's great. I mean, you guys definitely have a great plan going forward and a lot of ideas. And it's good that you have different minds all involved with different viewpoints that can really bring things together.
Stay humble. Stay humble.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great to see. It's great to hear. And like I said, one of the big things that people complimented yesterday were the 3 Black businesses that were successful. And like Jah was saying, yeah, they got to work together, collaborate, do as much as possible to help each other, because that's huge. I mean, people were so impressed with that, and the word they used over and over was inspiring.
I love that.
Inspiring to see.
One of his favorite words.
It was.
Well,
It's what they said.
Hope is something. I love Les Brown, and one of his big thing is it's possible, and it's possible is another way of saying hope. And like someone committing suicide, quit, and you're done once you quit. But if you can keep some type of hope and faith and say this is a season, or we were talking about mentors earlier, and someone seeing something in you that you can't see. Like we've all had that mother that sees something in you can't see. We all have had that father, that uncle, that coach.
No, that's a very.
I think, especially being a father of 2 kids, their confidence and their ability to see themselves as a greater person in the future has a lot to do of how we see them and how we treat them and the vibration we feed into them. And I feel like we can collectively give that to each other if we're intentional about it.
That's a very good point, because a lot of the times, people will say, look, here's a person that was able to elevate out of, the lower class, lower economic status or position. And look, they elevate. Why can't other people do it? But one consistent theme that you'll see between them is that maybe their parents weren't their models or role models or mentors, but there was another mentor, whether it was a coach,
They had someone, yes.
an employer, someone that they came across that was able to show them like, hey, this is how you do something to kind of like elevate or step things up or improve on this. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So we're all products of our environment.
When someone takes an interest in you and shows, believes in you, that is what will get you to start believing in yourself.
And you just need that first win.
It really is.
It's very similar to football. You have that first win, it makes it so much easier
confidence
to get that second win. And once you have 5, you're like, well, we can't lose. Like, we shouldn't have won the last one.
Yeah.
But I did want to bring up one more thing.
Sure.
For the audience out there. So with House of Changes, we have this wonderful consultant we're working with, Ashley,
Yes,
And,
yes, Ashley's awesome.
Our ask, we want to be consistent about it, is we're looking for corporate sponsorships and
Yes.
and partnerships with
Yes.
other businesses that have similar passions as us, where we can work together in order to go after different forms of funding, so we can serve the community deeper and wider,
And have a bigger impact.
and make a true impact. Because once you have enough resources, you can focus on something like in a specific group who has a high rate of suicide, and we can say we want to focus on this group, that we have enough resources to move the needle, and as you move it, it's easier to get more funding.
Because the biggest limiting factors are time and money.
Yeah.
Time
Yeah,
and money.
no, and then she's phenomenal, and
Yeah.
she's someone who strongly believes in small businesses, and she strongly believes in making those networking and connections.
And her operation
work
skills
together.
is off the
She's on
charts.
point.
Yeah.
She's been on point.
And she runs her own business.
She's been on
Well,
point.
what she's doing for us, she's been like,
Well,
been-
she believes
she's
in
been
it,
an excellent partner.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of people that believe in us.
But she's doing the work.
Has been,
She's probably providing
set the standard.
way more value than her
she's
cost.
definitely,
yes.
she's setting the standard for what we're looking for in reference to follow through and operational.
No, she's brilliant, and she's a go-getter, and she's not gonna idly stand by.
So please support us.
She's gonna make, yeah, she's gonna make 1,000 calls, believe me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, great job, guys. I just have to thank Fresh himself, Ned Von Young, Fresh Fold Laundry Company, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, high-end laundry service. They offer a pickup service with a 20-mile freaking radius. You put your clothes out, they come get them, wash, dry, fold them, land speed records. And then they also have an online subscription model and deals for college students who are going back very shortly. Check out their website at freshfold-laundry.com. So for Jah, Razul, this has been Inspire Synergy. I'm Steve Cully, the best podcast host in the universe. Remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges and please throw them back at Russell.
You might eat it. You might catch it.
Yeah.
If they're throwing it at you.
Yeah.